Now we're gonna do colors. There's so many different ways to manipulate color. Now we're first gonna understand how the fill and stroke work. Right here on the left side of the toolbar, you can see two squares. These two squares indicate how your path is or your shape is going to be filled. Currently, I have a fill. This one on the top is a fill, and this one at the bottom is the stroke. And this is how your shape is colored. I'm going to create a square. Currently, you can see that the fill is this beige color and the stroke is this black color. So right here, we have it here over in the color panel and then also on the swatch panel. What I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust the color by double clicking on the toolbar here. And then I can change the fill and the stroke color. Then I want to do the same for this square right now. Fill, we're going to change this blue, fill, and then the stroke. Now, anytime this one appears on top, it means that you are changing that color. So if I want to change the fill color, I need to activate and bring it to the front. Same with the stroke. Activate and bring it to the front. We're going to bring out the color button. And what I want you to understand is we're going to learn how to use the spectrum bar. So the spectrum bar is this bar right here that has a variety of colors that you can choose from. Basically, if you just want to get an idea of how you want your color vibe to be, you can just simply use the spectrum bar. Right now, I have the stroke color activated. I want to change the color of the fill. So I'm going to use the spectrum tool, select on the object that I want to change the color to yellow, purple, red. Okay. So really freeform and do anything. And I can change the color of all the strokes to black, or I'm going to choose orange. There you go. Now next, RGB. Remember at the beginning we chose RGB settings, which means that it is ready for computer usage. Now we want to make sure that our colors are also RGB ready. So I found these three colors on Adobe Color and I want to make sure that I know how to adjust the color settings. So in order to adjust the color, I need to make sure that I just get rid of the stroke first, and I'm going to focus on these three colors right here. So this is a screenshot of the RGB setting that it has, and I'm going to input that data onto the color panel. So utilizing the color panel, I'm going to select the color that I want to adjust. Right here is the color code. So I'm going to double click on it and you can see that the color code is 1323F2. And once I select that, it's going to adjust to that color. Or what you can do is you can press OK. And what you can do is you can adjust the RGB color right here. So this is actually a CMYK color. So I want to convert it to RGB, select RGB, and I'm going to do 1935-242, which is what it was earlier. Then here I can do 19-242-163. 19-242-163. That's the color. And then here, you can either input this data right here or this one right here. 19-175, 175, and 242. So I found these colors on Adobe Color. You're going to try to extract 3 colors that you like from Adobe Color, and you're going to copy the code to ensure you know how to input color codes onto this activity. Once you're done, I want you to take a screenshot of this and place it on to the update slide on Activity 8, Understanding Color. The next activity we're going to do is understanding color guides. So color guide right here is pretty much helping you find the different shades and tints for the colors that you have selected. So I have a selection of swatches right here. And what I want to do is I want to be able to find the light and the darker colors of each. So let's say I'm going to pick these 3 colors here. And what I want to do is I want to find the tint and the shades. Shade is when you add black to a color and tint is when you add white. So I'm going to change the shade of orange. You can see that when I click on this orange shade, it's going to provide me with a tint. I'm going to go with the second to the lightest color. Then for this blue, I'm going to select on it. And then I'm going to pick out the lightest color. Then the green, same thing here. I'm going to pick out the lightest shade for the tint. And then here for the orange, I'm going to do the same once more. The darker shade of orange, then the darkest shade of blue, and then the darkest shade of green. When you have a swatch, you want to be able to create global colors, which is the ability to switch that swatch color or shade without having to go to each individual image and adjusting it. In order to actually see the full effect of it, you want to make sure that you adjust all your colors, your swatches, into global colors. So all you need to do is double click and you're going to change it to a global color. So here I can change it all, make it all global colors. And then here, I'm going to take a screenshot of me transforming it into global colors. So when I have a bunch of squares, let's say I did this, 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 and then I did another set of colors overlapping it with the greens. Sometimes you want to adjust the color of the red because maybe your client wasn't really happy with it, but rather than going to each individual red shape, you would be able to double click on the red and be able to adjust it slightly. So let's say they wanted it to be a bit yellow. I can drag it to this yellow and you can see that color changing. Okay, and without needing to go to each individual shape, all you needed to do was just change that swatch color and it would automatically change for you. Then the last thing we're going to do is gradients. So gradients are pretty simple. There is a gradient panel that we are using. All you need to do is create another squares. And what you're going to do is you're going to select on the gradient tool and it's going to allow you to adjust the gradients. And you want to do it for all so that you already can just adjust the gradient for all. So here, and I'm going to change it to radial. This is the radial, and this is freeform. So now what we're going to do is we're going to change the linear color. This bar right here tells you the current color status of this particular shape. It's made out of white and black. You can adjust the opacity and you can also change the color. You can double click on it and can add more colors. So you can keep adding to the slider if you want to add more colors, or you can just stick simply to colors. Double click. Okay, let's say I'm going to change it to this blue. Double click and I'm going to change this to this green right here. And I would do the same for this radial tool. I can double click, change the color, change it to this green. And same thing here. I want to change it to freeform. Double click, green, double click, blue, double click, darker blue, double click, blue. All right, and you can also move it around since it is freeform. So what you want to do is you want to do it for the rest of the activity. And then once you're done, I want you to take a screenshot and place it onto activity number 9, understanding color. Next one right here is the eyedropper tool. So I have brought in 2 images from Google and I'm going to learn how to use the eyedropper tool. I have 2 images that I really like and I'm going to bring that in. The eyedropper tool is the ability to copy colors. But first what we're going to do is we're going to move back the color panel tool and focus on the swatch panel. So what I want to do is I want to copy the colors and create swatches for it. So right now I want to copy the colors and move it into here. So eyedropper tool, the shortcut is I. I'm going to copy this green. So make sure you select on the square. I'm going to adjust the color to this green. I'm going to select on the square, change it to the blue. I'm going to select an area that has not been colored yet, this beige and pink. The reason why you want to copy colors is sometimes you want to be able to learn how to build your own set of colors. A good designer is able to curate a set of colors to help bring out the image to make it look cohesive. And you're going to do the same for this image that you bring in, the second image that you bring in. You're going to copy those colors using the eyedropper tool. It's very simple. The eyedropper tool is located right here and you can just copy colors. Now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to actually create swatches. Since we copied all those colors, you can just click on that square and then you can actually create a swatch. So to create a swatch, all you need to do is create a folder first. So here you can create a new color group or you can right click here and a new color group. All right, so we need to create 2 different color groups. Now what I want to do is I want to import all these colors into the swatch. So Here, this green, I'm going to drag this square in, move it in. This pink, I'm going to move it in. Or what you can do is click on all the objects, new color group, and then it'll create those colors for you. And once you are done, what you can do is take a screenshot and then show that you have done it. And that's the same for the other one. You're going to create a new swatch, click and drag, click on the image, drag the color that you want, take a screenshot, and now I have my swatch folder. There you go. Complete this activity by using the image, and then what you're going to do is paste it on to the update slide on activity number 10.